Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host John. Today we continue our Western week with possibly one of the greatest Westerns ever, as people say, which is Unforgiven. Directed and produced by Clint Eastwood. And also starring Morgan Freeman and Gene Hackman. A lot of famous people from the 90s, I would say.
Hmm.
So, did you hear about this movie before doing this video?
God, no.
Really? Really?
I'm like, oh, I guess we're doing, like, when you said, well, we're doing Killers of the Flower Moon and then Unforgiven, I was like, okay, I'll look up what Unforgiven is. And it's a Western done by Clint Eastwood. I was like, oh, cool, this will be cool. He did tell me it was depressing as fuck.
I mean, is it though? The more I think about it, it is. But that's what I like about this movie. It's a very real Western, going off Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
But it's not based on a real story. But it is, for such a fictional story. I kind of really like this movie.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
Dude, no joke, I really do like this movie. Like, I got so surprised at how much I love this movie.
Yeah.
Well, we start off at a brothel,
Yeah.
and the whole story starts when this girl gets caught up because she made fun of this guy's pee-pee because it was a little too small, and he gets mad and starts cutting her up, and then all of the workers gathered around and was like, "Hey, let's build this amount of money and hire somebody to kill this mother."
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one of the first people who accepts it is the Schofield kid, this young, up-and-coming gunslinger who's very brash and acquires the help or tries to recruit William Money, who's played by Clint Eastwood, who is one of the most dangerous gunslingers to ever exist, but you can't tell by his humble home and his farm. You're like, I don't see how he's the most dangerous, but sure.
Right? He's like, with his demeanor.
Yeah.
As well, like, he doesn't want to curse. He doesn't like drink anymore, all because of his wife, where she kind of put him straight.
Yeah. And like even the opening crawls, like her mom was afraid that because she's gonna marry this violent, merciless man, that she will die through violent and merciless means, but she dies of smallpox. And by that opening, you're like, oh, okay, what am I in for then?
Right. So yeah, so that's the entire thing, and then we get a little bit of a side story of this. I'm guessing this is where Red Dead got the inspiration from, with the whole this guy writing a novel about the best gunslinger in the West.
Yeah, the small town. I like Western stories that just revolve around a small town that's like in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, where just one man controlling all the power, which is Gene Hackman.
Yeah, him, like, what was his name again? Little Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you gotta love it that we kind of ingrained in our brains what a small town in a Western movie looks like. And it always looks like Armadillo.
Yeah.
From Red Dead Redemption. And it's so weird, because I'm just looking around, just like, this is exactly Armadillo.
Yeah.
The bar is like at the far end of the corner. There's a store to your left once you go in. The sheriff's place is like at the front of the entire town.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's all just cut and copy. What the fuck?
Right? Like, yeah, the bar is like a ways away, while the rest of the town is in the circle, and you're like, God, somebody could be murdered miles away, and you'll just never know. You might hear,
right?
Pop. That's about it. You're like, well, I guess they're hunting. I hope. Shit.
Our radio. But yeah, so we get introduced to Little Bill, and he is a self-righteous sheriff of this town who thinks he can't do wrong, when clearly what he's doing is very wrong.
Yeah.
Like, he beats an innocent man to death. He beats somebody to a pulp for no good reason, and then steal his writer.
Yeah, he beats up poor English Bob, played by Richard Harris, who's supposedly a very ruthless gunslinger too, but like Little Bill proves him wrong because
That's Richard Harris.
yeah, yeah, that's Dumbledore, the first Dumbledore at least.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That was what?
yeah. But yeah, no guns allowed, and he just ignores the sign, and the people are like, "Come on, give us your guns." He's like, "Nah, I think I'll keep mine." And then he's surrounded by Little Bill and his posse, and Little Bill is not having any of it. Just beats the guy to a pulp because he hates Assassin and Man of Low character. Felt bad for his writer because he's like, "Wait, let me show you my book," and everyone's like, "No, no, you're not going to show me anything." Like, oh.
Yeah, like they thought he was pulling a gun, and then he like pissed himself.
Meanwhile, William Money and the Schofield kid get to recruit Ned Logan, who's played by Morgan Freeman, which is funny. This is our second video with starring Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman. The first one was $1 Million Baby.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of also has a more somber tone than most movies.
Yeah, and like Ned is supposed to be what the eagle eye of the entire group.
Yeah.
I really thought they were gonna get like the entire band back together. I thought that was the entire story. Is like Will is like just gathering his old gang, but now they're kind of doing right by their sins.
Yeah, but the gang apparently is just two guys. It's him and Ned, and you're like, okay.
Oh. Alright, I guess if you could do that much damage with two people, that's still intimidating.
Yeah, and then the Schofield kid is questioning Ned's ability, and Ned is questioning his, and then he just pulls out Ned's canteen, just shoots it, and Ned's like, Jesus Christ, man.
You find out that he's blind. Like, he's not blind, but you can't see that well.
It's not a sharpshooter, definitely, but Ned just has this look of like, man, why are we bringing this kid? He's obviously just faking it till makes it, like when he's like, oh, I killed 5 people, including 1 Mexican, and Ned's like, I'm going back to sleep. You're full of shit.
Right. I love it that Ned the entire time was like, shut up. Even me, like the entire time, this actor, I forgot his name, did an amazing job of us just hating this little piece of shit kid.
Yeah, because from the beginning, you're like, you know, we know this through life, like when someone is like just pretending to be someone they're not, and you're like, I think you're full of shit. I really think you do, because you keep running your mouth, and nobody who has accomplished anything that you say you've done will run their mouth this much. Like, that's true of life.
Yeah.
Like, if you're so accomplished, why are you acting like you're compensating for something? Answer me that.
Exactly. Like what? William and Ned, they're notorious for like a lot of horrible shit.
Yeah.
But they don't go around waving it like.
Yeah. Also, it's really fucked up when someone gets cut up and the guy's like, you're gonna let them loose, but they're my property, and you're like, oh, that's how you're gonna play this. Okay. And the guy is like, the cowboys are like, alright, we'll trade for your compensation. We'll give you these fine ponies, and he even offers the one with the cut up face his finest pony, but the head of the house is like, she'll never work again, and you're just gonna give her a horse? What the fuck is wrong with you? Get the fuck out of this town.
That's very understandable, but I really do feel bad because the guy who didn't cut her up,
Yeah.
was clearly like he clearly felt bad
Yeah.
about what happened, and he could have stopped it.
Yeah.
And so he was like trying to like, I'm really sorry. Here, this is the last thing I got.
Yeah.
Just take it, you know. But of course, they weren't having any of that.
Yeah. That's after, like, that night. That's when the Little Bill and the writer are talking about English Bob's reputation, and Little Bill just gives the full details of what happened according to what he wrote in the book of like, oh no, that's not how it happened. The guy didn't have 2 guns, just had a massive dick that people thought was a second gun, but it didn't play out the way you think it did, because this is how it really went down, where English Bob has lost his cool for a bit and tried to aim, but he was drunk and he missed, while the other guy had the gun just blow up in his hand, which is a common malfunction back in the day. And then Little Bill just shot him behind. you see the guy be like, "Oh, okay, my life's work is full of shit then."
Yeah.
And then sometime that night they bond, but like Little Bill's trying to show him how quick of a draw he is and how much a cool head is worth it. And the guy he finds another gun in the drawer, and he's like, "Oh, how does this work?" And Little Bill is like, "Alright, you put the bullets in the gun, you cock it, and you point it at me, and let's see how it plays out." And the guy's like, "What? No."
No. He just gives him a gun, and he was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And he just pointed at me and see how fast of a draw I am. And I was like, "This guy's gonna kill him."
Yeah.
I even asked, I was like, "Is it even loaded?" I was like, "It's not worth anything if it ain't."
Yeah,
I was
he's like, "Huh? How if I give it to English Bob?" And he's like, "Yeah, give it to him." You're like, "Oh fuck."
and he's like, "I was kidding." And so they did, which kind of showed how, like, bullshit English Bob was.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't even, like, he couldn't muster up the courage to fight or, like, go through a standoff with Little Bill.
Yeah.
When clearly the gun was loaded.
Yeah. Even he's smart enough not to take it because Little Bill's like, "You're good. You're really smart because I would have killed you." And you're like, "I believe you."
Yeah.
Because you see how
Yeah.
fast Little Bill just draws it out. You're like, "Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ, that's some aim we have."
But then, he is a bit of a narcissist, though. Like, he starts talking about himself and all that shit.
And the writer almost hangs himself or tries to kill himself again because he's like, "Whoever made this house, you should hang the carpenter." And Little Bill's like, "What'd you say?" Like, I was like, because he has such a bad job at the carpentry. You should.
But he was only me.
Like, you could tell that, like, if he kept talking, he would be like, "Get another fucking gun. I'm gonna kill you this time."
Because I don't shoot anyone who's unarmed.
Oh, man. But that's when the posse of the Schofield kid, Ned, and William roll up, and again, no guns, no assassins allowed. And poor William Money gets the beating from Little Bill. And,
And he's, like, dying from a fever, too.
yeah. And again, you're like, how is this the most feared man in the West? Or in this part of the United States? Can someone explain that to me? But in your mind, you're like, I guess he just lost it. Just fine for the story's sake. And poor William's just crawling while Ned and the Schofield kid make it out the window. And William is barely surviving through the beating and the fever. And the kid's like, "Is he really the best?" And Ned's like, "Shut up. Jesus Christ, you talk too much."
Yeah. But, yeah, they kind of rescue him. Well, I don't know how they rescued him. But, like, yeah. William kind of wakes up from his fever. He's doing well. While the kid and Ned was just like, "Alright, how about we just do the job? And we just come back for Will. Since he's not really in the best shape."
Yeah.
So they went off.
Scouting.
Yeah.
And then William has this moment with the cut-up prostitute where he's like, "You know what? I am the one. We both have scars, but you look fine compared to me because he knows his own past, so he's done more fucked up shit than she'll ever do." And you're like,
Yeah.
She's like, I get what you're trying to say. And there's some miscommunication when she's like, the other ladies are giving the Schofield kid and Ned free ones, and he's like, "No."
Like freebies. And they're like, "No, I don't think I would." I was like, "Oh, you don't need to get it from me." And there's the part where I was like, "Okay, Clint, I get it. Like, you can stop writing this one part."
Yeah.
But then, like, Clint just goes off and just like, "Look, you are the most beautiful one from all of them. If I had to choose one, it would be you." I'm like, "Dude, I swear to God, stop talking, please."
I guess William Money's not known for Riz. Jesus Christ.
No, he ain't. He's known for stealing and killing.
Murdering. What you see in the next scene where I love the scene when they first kill the kid's horse and he's on the ground. It's like, "My leg's been crushed." And then Ned has to finish him. Otherwise, they'll never get the bounty. But Ned has PTSD from everything he's ever done in his life. He's like, I can't do it. I cannot.
Yeah. I love that. Look, not a lot of gunfights in this movie. There's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's not your typical Western where the main character is just cold-hearted and just goes bang, bang, bang. You know, he doesn't do that. It is legit people reflecting on their actions and being like, "Oh my fucking god, what have I done?" You know, like, and then William takes the gun from him, and then just continues the job and starts shooting whoever's left. And then they shoot the kid who's like, "Oh, here's the pony. Sorry."
Yeah.
Like, sorry for my friend cutting up your face.
Yeah.
But there's all I got.
You don't
He gets shot, and then he started like asking for water.
You don't. There's not even a shot of him being like, my shoulder or my chest. It's just him crawling, and William squeezes the trigger, and he's like, I got him, and you're like, I don't see anything. I don't see a reaction. Right? But you see the
and
kid.
You just see him just like bleeding.
Yeah.
He's like leaned back, and he's like, "Can I have some water?" And then like William's like, "Can you just give him some water, please? Like, make him stop talking." Because like he really doesn't like the sound of like somebody
dying
at the doorstep of death.
Yeah, I mean, because by the end of the movie, you know the list of victims that include men, women, and children, and you're like, yeah, he's too used to the sound of people like dying, and he doesn't want it no more.
I like that though. I really like that they show that he can't do it no more.
Yeah.
Until the last one. But like they show that he can't do it no more.
Yeah.
The entire life's behind him, and then they get to the scene where they get to the house where they finally get the guy.
Yeah.
You know, there's the guy that they're out to kill. And then they cause a diversion. Kid comes in and shoots the guy in the shitter 3 times, and then they bolt.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't know how they're gonna get evidence of like, yeah, I killed this person.
Right.
But yeah.
That's just an example of games being unreliable, because you're like, how do you drag a carcass like that on your horse and then carry him across the state?
I guess it does make sense that you just talk how guy moves.
That is true.
Anyway.
But yeah, but before that, before Ned is captured and is interrogated by Little Bill, he's like bull whipped, and you're like, Jesus Christ. Fuck.
Yeah. When clearly Ned hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Well, besides his past sins, but like that was it.
Yeah, but they don't know about that. And like,
yeah, they don't know about it. They're just whipping him because they just want to, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's bad news" or some shit like that. And then we get to like I would say a really good character development scene where William is reflecting on the entire job, and they're like, "Okay, we'll split the money. We'll go pick up Ned, and we'll go our separate ways." And then you see the kid just reflecting on what he did. He was like, yeah, like he's drinking, and he's like, "That was actually my first kill. Like, I have never killed those 5 people in that Mexican. That was actually my first kill. I don't ever want to do it again." And I like that. I really do. I really like that the annoying kid that we don't like, kind of got that incy bit life that William had, and he's like, "I'm not ready for that."
Yeah, I'd rather die
I'm not
poor than be you, because he heard the prostitute be like, Ned did tell them who you were. You killed these people, and way back in the day, you killed women, men, and children. You killed a sheriff, or like the right hand of a sheriff back in the day. Killed a lot of people, and even the kid's like, I don't want this life. I don't want to be like you.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't like you.
Yeah. And usually you think...
I love that, though. I love it. They didn't show us why he's a menace. They just told us, oh, this guy is bad news. This guy is like the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, that's when we get explanations of why he's the baddest.
Yeah.
I get it. Show, don't tell. But at this point, telling wasn't that bad.
Yeah, and the way they described, like, it was like a dynamite attack on a train filled with innocent civilians. You're like, that's fucked.
Yeah, like, he did a lot of bad shit.
Yeah.
That's what William has done. And even the kids have, like, taken it back.
Even at the beginning, he mentioned that one guy he killed where he saw the teeth go through the back of his skull, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you for painting me that picture, man. Fuck.
But then we find out, oh shit, he's like, Ned's dead.
Yeah.
they beat him. They pretty much beat him to death.
Another good example
And
of like tell then not show, because some moments you're like, can you? I kind of want to see what happened, but like the prostitute mentions what happened. Like they beat him so bad, he just died, and you see from William's reaction of like, Ned's not dead. He went south. Like no, he got captured and he was beaten and died.
yeah,
Okay.
and then like, I love it when William's just like, all right. So he goes off on his own,
Yeah.
and just like goes on this revenge trip. He gets into the saloon.
Yeah.
And-
Shoots the owner first because Ned's body is hanging on the front.
Yeah. Again, like we see William, the horrible William, come up just for a tad bit. He shoots the owner, and he's like, "You coward! You shot an unarmed man." I'm like, so what? It's like, oh shit!
And little Bill's,
Here we go.
little Bill's like, he has one barrel left. After he shoots me, cut him down. And he's here, click, misfire, and they all draw the guns. And again, showing how much bullshit Red Dead Redemption is, because there's no dead eye bullshit. It's just William Money being lucky. He's just like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
he almost shot me. I'm gonna kill him first. Like after the
Yeah.
shootout, the Riker guy's like, how can you tell the order of importance? He's like, what order of importance? What do you mean?
Shoot!
Yeah.
You just fucking shoot. You don't think, man. But yeah, that was a fucking badass scene because again, we saw William Money,
Yeah.
like the one we feared the entire movie, the one that was rumored.
Yeah.
He kills them all, and I was like, yeah, this seems like a story that like would be a myth,
Right.
where he shot God knows how many people in the saloon
Yeah. But
by himself.
By himself, it's mythical, but it's just you being very, very lucky. Of like, did they touch me? Jesus Christ.
Even like one was like, okay, I'm good. And like one guy was like, you shot me. It was like, you're not. Yeah, you haven't been shot. It was just a dead guy who was on top of him, and he was bleeding on him.
Yeah. And he tells the writer, he's like, who's gonna be the last one? He's like, you will be if you don't stop talking. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And little
Yeah,
Bill.
but I'm so that was very cathartic though when they killed Little Bill.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't do anything to deserve this. And William's like, deserve ain't got nothing to do with it.
And it's shotguns. I was like, bang.
Yeah.
Was it a shotgun or just a pistol?
Shotgun. Or like, no, a rifle to the forehead.
Ah.
Like, yep, man.
Was it like Ned's gun?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Like he asked the writer to like grab him that rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes out of town and he's like, I'm gonna kill not just you, but your wife. I'm gonna burn your whole house down if you shoot at me. And Tartan's like, we believe you. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Right. And then even then we were like, it was like, you bury him right. Like you're telling him, bury Ned right.
You better not.
Or else I come back.
Yeah. Or better,
Oh shit!
you better not cut up any more prostitutes. Or yeah. Or else I will come back and kill every one of you sons of bitches. You're like, I believe him. Fuck.
I love it. I really do. I really fucking love this movie.
Yeah. Just rides off into the night and you just see that his wife's mom comes back, checks on her grave, and can't find William Money anywhere because he's off with the earnings he's got to like San Francisco to prosper in selling dry goods. And you're like, at least, well, we think William Money has a somewhat of a happy ending with his kids growing up
He
around
left
him.
his kids. Oh, okay. I thought he left his kids.
No,
No, he brought his kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
because he told the guy like, can you give half Ned's share and then my share? Just leave it at home, and then I'll come back for it. I don't think he's like, I'll take the money. Bye, kids. You can survive out here by yourself.
I was like, oh, he's back to being a bad, like a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. But this is really one of the best modern westerns of our time, and it is. How old is this movie? It's 31 years old. It's a pretty old movie by a lot of standards, but it is timeless in my opinion.
I love it. I really do. I like it that they didn't glorify killing.
Yeah.
I like it that they're like, one person shot somebody. No, he didn't even shoot anybody. He shot a horse that broke a kid's leg. Okay, maybe killing a horse is still. Not saying the horse's lives don't really matter. Anyway. But yeah, that's enough to like trigger his PTSD, and like even William Money's kind of like regretting like all the shit he's done
Yeah.
all throughout the movie, and I like it.
Yeah. Which makes me feel bad because every time I play Red Dead 2, I'm the worst version of William Money. Like, yeah. No, obviously, games aren't a reflection of real life people.
I guess, but at the same time, it's just like you just want to be like a Western badass.
Yeah, right?
No, it's just like
Yeah, but again,
oh,
fiction, a different fiction from this fiction that just Clint Eastwood is telling. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. And for your first time watching this movie, what would you rate this?
man, that's an easy 10 out of 10. I really love this movie. Clint Eastwood did a really good job. I don't know if there was any slow moment. It's a very slow movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was any moment where it dragged on
Yeah.
or anything. It's a lot of talking, but it was meaningful. And I don't know, I just like it. I really do. When we have too much in the media where, yeah, run into a saloon and shoot every bad guy you see. When clearly when you do that in real life, you're kind of just like, what have I done? I can't come back from this.
Right? You're like, I've shot 5 souls. Jesus Christ, how did I get here?
Right? You know, like, especially with that one kid, he was just like, I killed one person and I can't take it anymore.
Yeah. While he was taking a shit, it's not like he pointed the gun at me and in self-defense I shot him. He was just he was doing his own business and you popped in the head. You're like, oh, again, how did I get here? Fuck.
Right? So I love that. So it's a 10 out of 10. It's a damn good movie. I really highly suggest anyone to watch it. Is it one of those movies where I'm like, it was great, I watched it. Will I never watch it again? I don't know. I want to see it again just to like fully analyze the movie though.
Yeah, same here. Well, for me, I'll definitely watch it again because I do like this movie a lot since I've seen it. First time I saw this was like 2016, and I've been watching it every time it's on Netflix, or one like, or HBO because it is under Warner Brothers. So yeah, for me too, 10 out of 10. It's a pretty good Western. It's a very real Western. Like I like how Westerns have this, a good, what do you call it, difference where there's Westerns like this, and then there's Westerns like Django Unchained where like, he killed 10 people because they're all slave owners.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Somewhere like, oh, this is what PTSD happens. I was like, no, this is the John Wick of Western
Yeah.
kind of feel, you know? Like, we have no remorse.
Yeah.
Let the rage just consume you kind of deal.
Yeah. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Again, not much else to say aside from this is a very great Western. And one more thing is that I do like the music. It's very
Oh
simple.
yeah,
It's very Last of Us, if I'm being honest. It's not like the grandiose Good, Bad, and the Ugly music where it's just blaring at you. It's bombast. Here it's just a simple guitar, and you're like, okay, I like it. I love it. But yeah, it's a very unique Western, and I hope maybe in the future Hollywood does Westerns again and we get more movies like this. A bit too real, but at the same time, by the end of it, you're like, wow, that's a cathartic ending.
Yeah.
Not much else to say. But yeah, for the rest of the audience, what's your favorite Western? Is it this one? Is it The Good, Bad, and the Ugly? Is it pre 70s? Is it modern day Westerns? Is it Django Unchained? Please comment down below. But if you want to see more of us, please like our videos. Please like our videos, subscribe to the channel, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. I almost got ahead with the Spotify shit. Speaking of which, we're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. Maybe you're on horseback and you're listening to us. That's a nice thing to do.
That would be solid though. Like I've never heard anyone do that before. Just be on like horseback and just listening to like Bad Friends or Trash Taste. You're just like,
I really like this podcast here. But yeah. In the video, I'm Joda's voices, and I can do cowboy impressions if you guys want me to. Clint Eastwood, well, we mentioned it. Red Dead impressions, Dutch, Arthur Morgan, whatever it is. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Where can they find you?
You can find me at JohnJum_ on Instagram. That is my right account.
And until the next Western we'll be doing, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.